guys, we just got back from the Thunderbolts.
Did we?
That's right. I'm only wearing this because, Joe, why am I wearing this?
That's a good question. Why?
Yeah, you know I'm wearing it because I bought it and I need to get as much use out of it as I can. No,
Summertime.
because it's Marvel, not DC. We saw a Marvel film. However, this Marvel film features very heavily Sentry, who we all know is an inferior ripoff of Superman from DC. Sentry, this guy who is, you know, when everybody's like, man, Superman's overpowered, they're really talking about Sentry.
Doesn't Superman
Sentry
always beat Superman,
ridiculous.
though?
Sentry has all the powers of Superman, plus here's a list of other powers Sentry has. Invisibility, teleportation, psychic infection. Oh, he's also on the same level as fucking a psychic level of Emma Frost and fucking Phoenix might as well. Superhuman senses, umbrokinesis, with Eldritch Void powers, darkness powers,
and
energy absorption, power lending. He can make other sentries, biokinesis, resurrection. He can resurrect the dead, unconsciously resurrect the dead, and finally molecular manipulation. Coming back from I don't know a puddle when he was with Molecular Man. Jesus Christ, he's overpowered.
And like Superman, his weakness is magic.
Yeah.
Is his weakness magic? I didn't know that. What are Sentry's weaknesses, Joe? None.
Sentry has never moved an entire galaxy with a big iron chain, though.
Yeah.
He can't turn Japanese either, like Superman can.
Superman has that power. You can also shoot mini Supermans from his hands. Don't forget. Mini Supermans
He can
from his
kiss you and make you forget.
Right, and to fly really fast to go back in time.
I too think.
I'm sure Sentry can do the same thing.
He can't go no super
speed.
Bricks. That last one. Bricks. He can't make bricks.
That was the budgetary concerns in Superman 4 Quest of Peace. Because, you know, that shot, I figured this out in the behind the scenes. That shot is the same shot of him waving, but he has his hand down, and so he's looking up at the crowd, and that's what they had to reuse the shot because they couldn't film him putting the bricks back. They were going to film it, but they couldn't.
Yeah, I do think that super powerful characters aren't interesting.
All right, so... Yeah, because you have no imagination anymore, Alex. All right, so this is Thunderbolts, the MCU, and it is, frankly, one of the best fucking MCU films in a long while. I'd say, what is it? What was the latest one? Brave New World. This is better than Brave New World for sure. This is better than Marvel's. This is, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is probably still a little better for me, but this was really solid. And I think I'm really surprised by the performance of Yelena. I actually initially was kind of annoyed that, you know, Scarlett Johansson is leaving and, you know, Black Widow, and then we're being pushed this new Black Widow. I'm like, man, I don't like it. But, man, this is a great actress, and she proved herself in other films such as Oppenheimer and all these other bits and pieces here and there. And she really puts in a great performance, I feel. Some emotions between her and Red Guardian. Red Guardian is loud. He's proud. He's a big joke, but I love him. He's a lovable guy. And this is a ragtag team, a team-up film. Who are our members?
It is the Red Guardian. It is, what is it? Ghost. Bucky. Walker.
US
Yelena.
US Agent is, I guess they don't call him that yet, or at least not here. He's just called Walker. Taskmaster, Yelena, and they're all led by Valentina. There's you know, so she's in trouble. She's in trouble with the government. And she's got some Black Ops stuff going on. The Thunderbolts are Black Ops, and so hijinks ensue.
Yes.
And if you've seen the promotional material and the trailers, you have this crazy, super-powered being who puts his hand out and literally can make people...
shadows.
Just disappear, just fucking fade into existence. And it was crazy. I was like, how the fuck is this? And in the trailers, like, so all we do is punch and kick? So how the fuck is this punch and kick going to take on Sentry? Well, it is explained in the movie. In fact, it is Alex's favorite plot point. But we'll see how he thinks it's done here. But I think that overall, everybody puts in great performances. It's for an MCU film. It's well paced. It's a great balance between comedy, action, some heartfelt moments. This is a team of misfits, of throwaways, of never not good enoughs, or has-beens. And I really like those types of stories. I also really like superhero shit in general. Look at what I'm dressed up, right? And so when it's done at a high level, it don't matter if it's MCU, if it's DCU. I love these kinds of stories. And frankly, I've been very jealous of the MCU for a long time, up until recently when they were kind of messing it up. But it looks like it's somewhat back on track. So I want to know who directed this. This is Jake Schreier, and this is a screenplay by Eric Pearson and Joanna Carlo, and I think that they did a wonderful job, both of this team here, in order to get this done. Because while initially the dialogue isn't really all that strong, it's serviceable. All the characters you sort of grow to like. But at the end of the film, there are two specific moments of really well-written dialogue, especially between Yelena and her father. This is an adoptive father, but still father figure in Red Guardian. And then later, between Bob, who you see in the trailer, was Sentry, Bob Reynolds, and Yelena. And because that was well done, it pays off. So the writer here was the same writer, screenwriter, did Ant-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Detective Pikachu, some rewrites for those, Transformers 1. So he's got some good stuff under his belt. And he actually is a writer for Fantastic Four First Steps, which is coming up next. So I think, well done. What did you guys think of Thunderbolts Asterix? And we'll talk about why that is in the spoilers.
Yes, go out and watch it. This was a good movie. I had a great time with it. I love the cast. Florence, always been a big fan. She's my crush. But her and David actually were the standouts for me. These two had great chemistry together. You really feel all the emotions, the dialogue between them. You're laughing a lot of the times, but you actually feel for them. Sentry part, it's a hit and miss. Like it's kind of hard to deal with it. That. But the way it was done, it was fine. It worked for me. There's some nitpicks, but at the end of the day, you kind of had to.
I think Sentry is my least favorite MCU character. Yes, okay, I get it. I'm biased, right? But it's because. But even then, I just don't like it. He just feels like an anagram, a ripoff of Superman. MCU trying to one up DC, and then literally giving him everything. It creates a ton of problems moving forward. And while it works in this film, so what I'm saying, I think he's one of my least favorite characters. I'd rather take Hulk over him, all these other characters over him. I think it works in the film. So to make Sentry an interesting, compelling character, a multi-layered character, this kind of tortured soul, I think works for this film, but then will create problems later on that I'm sure we will roll our eyes. Oh, you're explaining that and how he's not this blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and also, going in this movie, I was getting tired of this whole Suicide Squad stuff, the team up of the misfits and stuff. I got tired that.
So you would think that you would be bored of this,
yeah, because you've seen it so many fucking times. It's done well with the Guardians and the latest Suicide Squad, but then we got fucking Borderlands was fucking terrible.
Don't even put that in there.
The ragtag team.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But that failed miserably. But this one worked.
Yeah, I think it's a really good movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's really good. I think they really nailed the right amount of comedy. They keep it for the most part light. There's some action scenes, and look, when you're dealing with a super powerful character, it is almost impossible to have a compelling way to take them down. It just doesn't exist. And like you said, it's like you have these characters that can do all these things. When you know what they can do, it's almost impossible to have tension. It's like that's the problem that I have with other characters that I'm not going to mention right now, where it's like, wait a minute, you're so fast you can go back in time. Why the hell do you need this psychotic...
It's the goddamn level threats that he faces, Alex!
Except for in all of the movies where he's like, I can't go save my mom.
The movies are different from the thing and budgetary concerns, but yes.
But so it's like, I can't save my mom and I can't fight this guy at the same time. It's like, yes, you can. You can go back in time,
That's the
dummy.
way it was written. Yeah. Dummy. The fucking way it's written is dummy written. Shoving Jolly Ranchers in people's faces is dummy written.
I get it. So it's
you get a better writer, then it will make sense.
So it's really tough to have tension, and you have to do the thing that I don't always like. The thing is about Sentry is he is a little bit more complex because he's fucking crazy. And so it's kind of like Hulk, right? Like Hulk he scales in power level. You can do all these crazy things, but you have to come at him at a different way. And so I don't hate it. I just don't think it was, I never liked this kind of thing where you kind of have to use the power of teamwork and love and friendship to overcome these things and bring someone back. But at least
you can see it coming from a mile
you
away.
have to, because this is the only way you can take down something as powerful as that. And so with that, I think with all of those limitations, I think they did a pretty good job. So I think this is a movie that you should absolutely go out and see if you're a big fan of the Marvel movies. If you're a hater, this isn't going to change your mind because you already fucking hate you always hate them. But it's like, I think it's funny enough. There's enough action pieces. It's interesting, and it sets up some stuff in the future.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we said it all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so let's say there's some spoilery stuff. There's a character fate in here. There's setup for the future MCU. Let's talk villain. Okay, so obviously there is Sentry, and if you don't know, Sentry has an alter ego, the Void. I think they did the Void extremely well. I love the way he looks, and you're looking at him, and you can't quite pick out details, but you can see the eyes. I liked that a lot. I like the mental stuff, which allows those actors to really stretch their legs and go back in time for the trauma. Some of those, behind some of those traumatic events in the past are done well, and some of them are repeated too much to where I don't really care, not done quite as well, but at least it all serves the story. And what Alex was talking about, kind of the resolution, it all really ties in well with what this team is about, what this team's strength is, and so it ties together very well. Very strong screenplay and well directed. This actually is kind of a rookie director. He didn't really do a whole lot.
I think he did a good job as Sentry, but I didn't know until you told me. Like that's Louis Pullman.
Yes, this is Bill Pullman's son from Independence Day, the president.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I see. After you told me,
see it in
I was
the
like, after you told me, I was like, I see it now. Okay, I didn't know.
Cool. Now, initially, in the marketing, I was like, this guy's too skinny. This is not Sentry. He needs to be bigger. I still feel if you want an extremely comic accurate version of Sentry, he needs to be about twice as big. But I guess it's hard to find somebody.
But this is his first phase.
It's hard to find somebody with that kind of build, that can do the acting.
Suit, though.
And he does have a little bit of a padded suit. You do see the Sentry suit. I think it looks good. It is very MCU. They cannot help themselves with these lines everywhere, which I think ruins the suit. I think it's ruining DC Superman's suit. But maybe we'll eventually move on from it when James Gunn gets off that train. But Sentry, there is. Just so that you know, I think you should go and see the film. Not only because of the comedy, the entertainment value, but also I was expecting, Sentry's coming here. There's not going to be a big battle or something at the end. And to be fair, it's not quite this huge climax that you would think in Avengers and this beat up. there is a sequence that's probably about 10 minutes long, and it's realistic in terms of the universe. So it's basically, how do you think Thunderbolts would do against this threat? And it's depicted really, really well. And so I'm glad that they didn't go into cartoon territory and try to depower or overpower certain characters. They're staying true to the lore. Now, I'm not sure, at least initially, that this Sentry is as powerful as we see in the comics. All that shit I listed off would create so many problems.
Yes.
And I hope they don't do it. I hope they just kind of leave him at this kind of level 1 power, because it's already enough. Part of the whole thing that Valentina's whole thing is that she wants, in the universe right now, the Avengers are gone. Most of the big threats are gone. This world is kind of moving on a little bit. And so they don't need an Avengers, but she wants to create a team, or really, at this point, one being all wrapped in one. She wants just one person that she can control that is as powerful as all the Avengers together. And honestly, this introduction meets that. It meets expectations. It exceeds expectations. And I'm like, holy shit, how are they going to do this going forward? So we'll talk about that in spoilers. But as far as this film goes, a lot of fun. Let's go to final verdicts.
I'm going to go with an 8. Basically for everything we just said.
Yeah.
8.
We were very thorough.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. So it's not going to change your life or anything, but I enjoyed watching it all the way through.
Yes, I was between, I can see 7, 8, 9. I was going between there the whole film. And I think ultimately I'll land on an 8. I think the Valentina side of things is a little weaker. It's not necessarily that she puts in a bad performance, but I just like
you don't really care
a
about
little
too
less.
much
Yeah,
or something?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She does an all right job, but there's some questions that I have there. There's some leaps in logic that I guess will be explained as it's going forward. So that has a little bit of weakness. I'm actually really happy about one shocking decision that they did in this film, which has been spoiled everywhere. I'm not going to spoil it here. I actually like this change, and I hope it leads to something positive in the future. And finally, and I'm not even talking about the big reveal. So there's a big reveal at the end that's like shattering, and I was like, okay, I didn't expect that. And we'll talk about that in spoilers. It has to do with the asterisks and moving forward. So, okay, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. And join us in the spoilers section where we'll break this down. And it's probably going to be a bigger spoiler section because it's like the implications of the future. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. Why don't I'm talking a lot, boys? Go ahead and give us a breakdown for whoever wants to do it.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the head of the CIA, and she's been doing all sorts of naughty things. And so she's been independently using the Thunderbolts as like mercenaries, killing people, hit squads, cleaning up evidence. She's getting impeached from her position. And so she's trying to clean up all of her past. And so she sends Yelena to this secret lair where all of her evidence is. And she has to go. Her mission is to take out Ghost. But Ghost is there, and Ghost's mission is to take out Taskmaster. And Taskmaster's job is to take out U.S. Agent. And so they'll set up this whole thing.
And Bob is also in that facility as well.
Unknown.
Yeah, no one knows who Bob is. Not even Valentina knows who Bob is. And so this is just an incinerator to take care of everybody and to kind of wrap everything up. And then they realize that after Taskmaster gets shot in the face.
Shot in the head. So that's a big reveal. Taskmaster, this shitty version of Taskmaster that I absolutely hated, is plugged, and they actually listened to the fans for once. They said, fuck it. This poor actress thinks she barely gets any time. She does take her mask off for a second. Stay out of my way, she says to Yelena, and then the mask comes back on. Then she gets shot in the head by Ghost.
Yeah.
I was expecting maybe Bob will take her out, Sentry, something. No, it's unceremoniously done right at the beginning of the film. She gets a little bit of shield combat with U.S. Agent. I wish there was more. I wish there was more mimicry of people's moves. There's a little bit there, but if we're gonna say fuck this character, erase her, and move on, and maybe eventually get the real Taskmaster or a different one, fine.
Yeah. And then they realize they're about to be all incinerated, and they work together as a team and escape. But they can't leave the facility. They realize that they're going to need a bit of diversion. So Bob's not powered.
Bob falls out of the box.
He's just a dude. And so he decides to shoot a gun up in the air and run out into the front of the facility as a distraction so his newfound friends can escape. And then he finds out that he's indestructible and bulletproof and can
they
fly.
fire tons of bullets at him. He is Superman,
He's
basically.
pretty fucking ripped.
He was ripped.
Yeah.
He's got some fucking muscles under there. It's, not quite. I don't think it's David Cornsweat or Henry Cavill levels.
Don't give me Henry easy.
Henry's also 3 inches too short. So,
and then, then eventually he flies up into the air. He's kind of almost shocked with his powers, not quite at that level. Falls from the sky, gets knocked out.
yeah.
Huge explosion. They go and pick him up, take him to the Avengers Tower, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, Valentina is going to use this. She thought that project led to nothing. Now, here's the stretch in logic. How the fuck does the U.S. government create the most powerful fucking hero of all time? I don't like that. Honestly, I'm unfamiliar with Bob's fucking origin and Sentry's origin in the comics, but so you're telling me just some science experiment is going to be better than Hulk, or on the level of Hulk, and one of the most powerful beings in the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, you have
I get the super soldier serum. I'll allow that, right?
Yeah, but you have to allow for like if they could have done something that's like, hey, it's a Chitauri thing, or it's something that we picked up after the end game. It's like there's
everyone's DNA.
Yeah,
and put it all together.
Oh, let's stop
That
it.
might
Stop
work.
it.
That
Like,
might something like that. Put
Why
some
not?
God DNA, Thor DNA in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but so apparently it's just an experiment.
yeah, and so but he gets his powers, and she uses it as an opportunity that she can create her version of a super person. And they specifically said super person.
That was that moment. We have to talk about that. One of the congressmen is like supposed super beings, as if he's never been in the MCU. Was he born yesterday? There are super beings all the fucking time. Why you say it like that?
Yeah,
he wasn't directed well. They should have said, all right, redo the line. It's like one of your supposed super beings. Maybe that angle instead of a naturally born super being.
Attacked by fucking aliens, and then you don't believe in super beings.
There's a giant monster in the Indian Ocean right now. Yeah. They needed to do something, because like I would totally buy it if they're like, hey, we found some DNA in this celestial, and that's how we figured out what Sentry is. But then so they do escape the facility. Bob is with Valentina, and then our ragtag group, who don't really like each other yet, and they're not much of a team. But Bucky, who's a congressman, blows up the limo that they're in and detains them because he thinks that they're bad guys. They're able to kind of explain, it's like, nope, man, Valentina's the real bad guy.
That's a terrible idea, though. He's gonna capture them, and then they were going to go to the witness stand, but he fucking blew up the limousine and almost killed them.
Yeah, but they're super people, or they're
not really.
Yeah, well, one of them can't die in an explosion because she can just go, all blurry. The other guys, and the two people are super people. Yelena's going to die, but I mean,
yeah.
And so Bucky figures out that Valentina's the actual enemy, and they go to confront her in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the scene in the tower where not the tower, but the military base where she tries to have everybody kill themselves. I think this really ingratiates the audience because they have great rapport with each other, and when they start to work together, it's funny. It works. At one point, they're crawling up a small tube or back to back. They're doing banter back and forth. It's Bob's idea. Once they get up there, like, fuck, what's the next step? Oh, I didn't really think that through. You know, just some fun stuff here and there. And everybody acts their way. U.S. Agent is kind of, Walker is kind of a fucking asshole. And when people realize that, when they interact with him, he's like, Bob is like, aren't you supposed to be like Captain America? He even laughs in his face. He's like, why are you laughing?
Because you're an
asshole.
asshole.
And he's like, because you're an asshole and you're supposed to be Captain America. Yeah. And that, you know, hit hard, you know. And I think even after that comment, I think Walker changes a little bit inside and tries to change.
Yeah, we can't find out why he's kind of an asshole too.
But okay, so the comic origin here is beaming with the power of 1 million exploding suns.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Bob Reynolds was once a shining paragon known as the Sentry, a drug addict who stumbled into an experimental super soldier formula called the Golden Sentry
Chemical
Serum
X.
that gave him immeasurable powers. Oh man, I like the fact that the government can create superpowers, but they're super serum soldiers. So there's a lot of super serum soldiers in this film. There's Bucky, who I think is on strength level with Captain America. I'd maybe put him, if Captain America's like a 9, Bucky's like an 8.
He's like one of the OGs.
Then
He's got that Hydra one.
Yeah, and then you have U.S. Agent or John Walker. I'd put 8. I'd probably put him like at a 7, maybe a 6. And then you have Red Guardian, which is Russia's kind of rip-off version of the Super Serum Soldier. Probably put him at a 5.
5?
Yeah, but on superhero level, so he's going to beat anybody else's ass.
Okay.
But if you're going up against a 9 like Captain America, he's a 5, you know. But and he can reach some higher levels, like power up, like Vegeta does when you slap his woman. And when he's trying to protect Yelena and stuff like that, he can be on the level of Captain America. But anyways, so yeah, let's continue. So
we get to the tower here, and Val, we'll just call her Val, shows off Sentry. He's like, this is what I've been working on.
Oh, yeah, no, they show up to, like, wreck her place, and then boom, boom, there's, like, this action scene when they crash into her, because she actually bought the Avengers Tower, and she's kind of rehabilitating her image through that, all the subterfuge and social media bullshit. And then as everybody's kicking each other's ass, even the SWAT team is, like, still like this, she's talking over the intercom, and they're all like, oh, she's like, you guys could just come up. It's funny. So then
a couple of those dudes dead. So they're dead.
That's dead. Oh yeah, we got to talk about real quick. This Thunderbolts team has killed people. They're
a lot
murderers.
of people.
Oh, they are literally
They
murderers.
have guns.
But now
Yeah,
you
they're just shooting
understand
people.
why Sam Wilson later on in the film, we'll talk about it in more detail later, but he has a problem with this new Avengers team.
Yep.
Yelena kills a lot of people, and they're like good guys, and and everyone's cursing the entire time. Like, this is not a PG Disney Marvel movie.
Okay, but keep going. So once they go into the thing, they go up to the elevator. She does that. Man, I love this kind of classic villain. This is her at her best, where it's almost like Lex Luthor, so cocky, like, hey, well, you know what's it? And just flaunting everything. And at one point, one of the people goes to try to take her out.
The nuclear man shows up. So yeah, I got a buddy too.
Kill Superman.
Yes.
First, I have fun. Joe, can you turn on the fucking fan in here? I am about to sweat my fucking ass off. Okay, and then we get a really fucking cool action sequence.
Yeah.
A little too CGI. I wish they had gone a little. It's hard to do this. How do you do it more practically? There's it would be a lot more expensive, but they took shortcuts and used a little too CGI. So it goes from looking really impressive to looking a little hokey, but it gets the point across.
Yeah.
And he is fucking powerful.
Everyone up.
Yeah, and he's not trying to hurt any of them because they're still his friends. He's
Yeah.
just trying to establish dominance. He's like, I am.
And he does so. So they are punching him, 0 damage. At one point, Bucky's like, and he gets pissed, and he goes Rambo mode, and boom, 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 like his best. And it does jack shit. In fact, he fucking picks Bucky up like, I thought he was going to crush the arm.
Me too.
And honestly, that arm should be crushed, but it's perfectly fine in the end. He was superheating the arm, and then he rips it off and
Hits him
throws
with
them.
it.
Hits him.
Yeah, beats him with it. Yeah,
Hits him with his own
It turns
fucking...
into fucking Neo. They shoot
Stop
him. He
hitting
stops the
yourself.
bullets and throws him back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god! It's like, yeah, you guys.
Superman with telekinesis as well. Does Sentry have Well, I just read them all.
Does he have laser vision? Does he have cross breath?
Yes, he has laser vision. He can. What is it called? He can manifest the powers of the sun as bolts.
Yeah, if I was like Yelena,
it's everything.
If I was Yelena, I saw that shit. Like he's just bouncing the bullets. It's like, hey. Maybe we could just talk about it.
Well, she was trying to. Then she's trying to get his attention, and then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Bob, you need to stop." And he's soft with her. He only throws her into the ceiling and then slams her on the ground. But yeah, he catches her before she dies, because he's not trying to kill anyone.
The one that gets it potentially the scariest is Red Guardian. He's the one that charges first, knocks him across the room. Red Guardian comes back. He knocks his ass out the window, grabs him with telekinesis.
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, because he would be dead.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he'd be dead. He'd be like out for 6 months, totally knocked out, because he is a super soldier. But he might have died as well. But he flings him back in. And Bob's performance, something Pullman, let me check real quick. Lewis Pullman does a great job at this multi-layered character. He's like, never do well, or not never do well. He's just kind of like goofy and unsure of himself, funny, quirky initially when they meet, but you see there's parts of him that, like, I want to be a hero, like just like the comics, and it's well done. And so when Valentina flirts with him in this idea that you could be the Avengers and you're going to be the forward-facing thing, and you'll show everybody what you're capable of, you buy it. And he buys into that because of his past, because of his trauma. And so when she's like, take care of these people, I do buy that he's going to, follow her commands. But as soon as he really uses his powers and realizes how powerful it is, and then she's like, all right, finish the job, kill these Thunderbolts. He's like, no.
They're not a threat. Why would I kill them? They mean nothing to me.
And he's right. And he's like, I don't know why I'm listening to you. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I got power of a god. And you're like, whoa, you're using that term a little loosely. He's like, you said I'm like all the Avengers.
One of them's
a god.
So I'm like a god. And he's right.
Then she has her kill switch behind her. Is like, well, fuck, I'm gonna have to destroy my experiment. He's too fast. Grabs her against the wall, starts choking her. Luckily, her assistant shows up just in the nick of time.
We do have a subplot with the assistant. We also have a subplot with Bucky here, who is a senator at this point. I guess he's trying to get into politics, trying to do the right thing. And he gets to her assistant, says, hey, here's my card. If some nefarious shit is going down and you want a way out of this. And so she does eventually call him, and it creates this subplot there. But go ahead.
Yeah, then Mel grabs the kill switch. It turns
turns him off. And you think it kills him. It puts blood in his eyes, and he falls down. I knew that shit is not going to stop him. Just because I know what he is in the comics. A man can go up against Hulk, and Hulk just keeps getting stronger and stronger, while Sentry is already immeasurable. It's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
So he wasn't gonna die for that, and in fact, he wakes up as the Void. So the thing with Sentry is he has this eldritch. I don't even know. Somebody in the comments explain the Eldritch side. Where does that come from? Is it magical side of MCU like Doctor Strange? Is it something else entirely? Here, it's a manifestation of all of his darkness, his trauma, his past, that gets so powerful from the super soldier serum. I don't like that. I like if it's something more explaining power level, like galactic, otherworldly, other dimensionally. I would buy his power level.
I think Sentry's whole thing is like the Sentry figure is just what he imagines to be what a superhero is, and the Void is the exact opposite. So he's got like these two sides of him, and so it's like the Sentry he's blonde and he's big and he's buff and he's got all these powers, and the Void is the exact opposite of that. And when he turns into the Void, he just starts banishing dudes to the fucking Shadow Realm. Kids and then everybody.
So you see that in the trailer, and I was like, all right, Marvel, I can't believe you're going to do this. This is horrific. That I'm giving you extra points. they take it away. It's a fucking cheap cop-out, and I was a little disappointed. I'll give you a point. I'm going to take that one away. But since the movie's already doing so well, so what it is you don't actually kill. I knew the second that kid got killed by it, I was like, I didn't know the second. I was like, holy shit, Marvel, Disney, okay. I'm going to give you an extra point for that one.
For killing kids.
Little did I know that was going to be undone. Because when you get poofed, you don't die. You go to another dimension. You go in a trauma box.
Yep.
And you're living out your worst fear or your nightmares or your worst moment from the past. Actually. And this sets up how the Thunderbolts can defeat somebody at this power level. Alex, how did you do it?
Yeah, so Yelena walks in there, and then she's at the point now where she thinks that she can get to him, and so she purposely walks into the void, and she gets sent to all of her worst memories. So we get to see the point where she had her best friend executed as a little child, where she's the fastest at assembling her pistol, and she gets all of her friends whipped. And so she keeps reliving all these things, but every now and then she can catch Bob in a reflection. And so eventually she works through her things to go find Bob. And Bob's sitting in his attic, his childhood attic, and he's just sitting there watching his mom, like listening to his mom get beat up by his dad. And he tries to stand up to the dad, and then he gets beat up. Now? And then the mom is like, you're making everything worse. And so he just can't do anything right. And that's kind of like his little trauma prison he's got himself in. And he's like, look, this is the safest place for me. I pretty much hide here, and as she's trying to get him to realize that he needs to get out, that things are going on, the Void realizes that she's doing that stuff, and the Void tries to kill her and Bob in like this whole trauma prison. But luckily the other members of the Thunderbolts have kind of rallied a little bit, realized that they're real upset, and they're like, she's got to have a plan. And John's like, hey, he kind of warped me to the Shadow Realm before in the past, so I kind of know
there's a chance that this is a realm we go in there and let's do it as a team. Yeah. So as he and her confront the Void within this shadow dimension, Bob wants to protect his friends. The Void's getting the upper hand, wraps them all in fucking metal and is killing them and holding them prisoner. And he just starts wailing on the Void. But then, as a sinister laugh, I like this one as well because that's what he wants. And then Yelena realizes that's what he wants. Stop, And so Red Guardian manages to push it just a little so that Yelena can get out and try to stop Bob from hitting. And she says, we're here for you. We're here. Everybody's here. And then the rest of the people, his power starts diminishing, or at least the Void's hold over them. So they escape from their shackles, and they all go and basically rescue their new friend. And through the power of friendship, Alex, and the power of love. And bonding.
See, this was done better because I thought it was going to be like the fucking dumbass movie, Chapter 2, It. They're just like, oh, you're stupid. We're not afraid of you. And he's getting smaller and smaller.
Or that Superman show you made us watch that was awful.
Which one?
There's a Superman show where there's an evil Kryptonian in one of the boys, and through the mom's whispering in the ears how much I love you, he's able to overcome.
Oh, yeah.
That is 1 out of 10 level. This was presented well enough. I don't think that I will never love these scenes, but I think it was well enough that I didn't hate it. And so it's like I applaud you for,
Yeah, and so before this resolution happens, he's floating as the Void. It looks really cool because he's in darkness. He's dimension voiding everybody.
I thought he was going to have some red glowing or something, but I guess
the entirety of New York is swallowed into. I was like, what is the limit here? But before that, some Vel thought she had killed him with the kill switch, so she's like, put a cleaner team up there. But when the cleaner team goes up there, he's not dead, he's floating. This fucking dumbass with the rifle just starts shooting him. I was like, that guy is dumbass. And then he gets ghosted. And then the fucking helicopter comes. And I'm like, you got a fucking badass helicopter with rockets and shit. Instead, you turn so that another rifle guy can shoot him. And then he is the... And
this is why I don't understand these fucking teams. It's like, look, you live in this world with fucking superheroes or villains.
Stupid?
You see a guy floating.
Yeah.
You think your bullets are gonna do something?
Yes. At this point, I would like it if the MCU would be like, all right, let's upgrade the weapons of the humans. In the DC universe, they've done it. Hell, in Spider-Man and MCU universe, they've done it. When Venom was around, remember the cronies would show up with sonic weapons and stuff. So they need to have like laser rifles or whatever. But anyways, this is just showing the power dynamic. The fucking helicopter spins out of control and breaks shit, and I'm realizing the weaknesses of the Thunderbolts team. It's like they cannot stop a fucking helicopter from slamming into people. There's a big crane that's falling as well. There's even a scene where Superman can stop the crane, but they're not Superman level.
Ain't it, Chief?
So Bob, who is by the end of the film joins the team, he can do it, but he's obviously the Void right now. So I did like the heightened tension. How are they going to do it? They basically just get some people, but because it's a Disney, because it's an MCU, you don't see anyone die. There's no destruction. It's not Superman, Man of Steel, where you like seeing people fly up and slam into the ground from the fucking pulse. So it does take away a little bit from the tension, especially when everybody comes back from the Void. It's like, God damn it, I hate it when they have this cookie-coated, everything's fine. No, don't worry. Nobody dies. You can sleep at night. No!
Taskmaster's
fucking die. I know. Which makes that even more of an insult to people who liked that character. You shouldn't.
No one likes this Taskmaster.
There's people on the internet.
Dozens of grunts are dead too because Yelena is executing them. Like some of them are on the ground.
Really? The Thunderbolts have a bigger body count than fucking Sentry. What the fuck?
Does Sentry does kill... Bob does kill some people as Bob with a rifle in the beginning. But
Thunderbolts combined have way bigger body count because all these people come back at the end, including... So I was getting to this scene where Red Guardian saves this little girl. It's a cute scene, and he saves her, but then she's the first one to get, shadowed. But she comes back at the end. Her mother hugs her. Everybody else comes back. And they are about to beat
Val.
Val's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And she baits. It turns out she was baiting him. She's one step ahead. On the other side of this, fallen debris is a press conference.
They got there way too soon.
There's bullshit.
There's chaos and everything. You tell
they're
me
already just
up.
waiting.
Yeah,
it's a little.
Yeah, I was like,
crutch,
whatever. I'll
allow it, right?
Yeah.
Little crutch, and then she makes this announcement that these are the new Avengers.
I've been working behind the scenes to present you this. This is what I've been working on to save her ass.
Of course, Red Guardian's into it. Bob starts clapping because he kind of likes this kind of stuff, and Yelena seems to be at the forefront, and that's the new team.
Yeah, well, she whispers in her ear, "I own you now, bitch."
Exactly.
Like, I was like, they should go to jail immediately. The Avengers, you don't need to own her. Just put her ass in jail.
Bucky already knows.
Put her ass in jail.
She would have been in jail. Bucky already knows.
But the only excuse I can find is maybe they want to use her resources. She has a lot of money. She has resources. So just drain her ass of money and resources and then imprison her. She needs to go to prison. Don't brush this off. She literally tried to kill all of you. She's not a good character. She's a bad guy.
So are all they. Like, they killed... Every one of them
That's
killed...
That's a great point, Alex.
So they're all bad people. Other than Bucky. No, Bucky kills a bunch of soldiers,
too.
He has a past. They all have past.
No, Bucky kills... As Congressman Bucky Barnes.
No. In the desert, he was using non-lethals. And they just got knocked out. They got knocked out, Joe. They didn't break their necks.
The rockets were set to knockout.
They didn't break their necks. He didn't use rockets. He used
one guy had a heart condition. He died.
Hopefully everyone has their seatbelts on.
Should have never been a soldier. So it says New Avengers at the end, and it goes 14 months later. So what happens here?
14 months later, they're all in the new tower and
the Watchtower.
The Watchtower, and they're like, "Well, we have to change our names because Sam Wilson is patenting the Avengers, so we have to change it out."
Mm-hmm. They're getting mixed reception, but I think it's mixed reception from other superheroes in the community, like Sam Wilson, not necessarily from the public. I think the public is on board. What do you think with the New Avengers?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we got a bunch of fake like New York Post things and the Times where it's like, you know, it's not the A Avengers, it's the B Avengers, and so some people were into it. Yeah, some people were into it, and some people were less into it. There's a really cool one of the Queen, if you saw all the faces there with David Harbour in the center. So there's some cool stuff, but like Falcon doesn't like that all of these mostly murderers are wearing the name Avengers, and so he's like,
he's
no.
got a point, but it's a great story set up for him to eventually be like, all right.
Yeah.
Like you guys, we're friends now. So that'll be a future plot point. They do mention that they have a space thing that they've been kept out of. So apparently there's a space thing. I couldn't tell if the space thing was separate from then what just happens, which is, oh, we've got an incoming thing. It's a ship. Oh, an interdimensional ship. And Red Guardian's like, what does that mean? You know, interdimensional. And it's shown to be the Fantastic Four arriving. So leaks regarding the Fantastic Four potentially confirmed here. Their fucking universe is over. I think that's fucking awesome if Galactus wins. Let Galactus win over there, because I hated the fact that defeat Galactus so stupidly and so easily, and the stupid cloud Galactus. Fuck all that. We need real Galactus eating worlds. And they left somehow. But they're going to need to come up with an excuse, because that'll make them murderers too, and that'll make them cowards and people that run. So we'll have to see what their excuse is for that. So that sets up that. We also get another after-credit scene that came actually before. It's Red Guardian doing a joke with the Wheaties.
With the Wheaties. He finally gets his dream.
Puts the Wheaties.
But he's the Avengers with a Z.
Yeah, Sam's like, I copyrighted that name, and he's like, I got around it. It's Avengers. It's just like our Avengers joke. The Revengers! Legally distinct. That's what I should have dressed up as.
The Revengers.
Yeah, I'm going to dress up
Antonio
next time.
Starch.
Antonio Starch and Captain Puerto Rico. I even still have
Was
that
it
costume.
Brute?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Brute.
Alex is brute.
But at the very end, it's important to note that Bob is refusing to be Sentry, because he knows that if he becomes
hand in
Sentry,
hand.
he's got to also have the Void won't be far behind. So he's doing the dishes.
Yeah, he said I'll do the dishes.
Good
But
roommate.
that's another plot point where you know eventually he's going to use those powers. So, the future of the MCU, Doctor Doom is coming. You cannot have, we already have that announced, Robert Downey Jr. And the best way to set up Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom is to have Sentry get his bitched ass did. And Doom just takes him out easily. That would establish the threat that Doom actually is. Because honestly, Sentry in this universe is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. You have an on the level of Hulk, arguably better than Hulk. Now, some people argue pure raw power. It's always going to be Hulk because he always grows and matches your level. But yeah, but Hulk doesn't have all the fucking list of fucking powers that I've read.
Also throw him
He's
into
going
the
to turn
sun.
into the void. And go.
Yeah. So, you know, and I guess they're probably just going to, you know, say, no, this version doesn't have psionic abilities, Umbra Kinesis, energy blasts, invisibility,
No.
calm inducement, light projection,
they gotta
photokinesis,
tone him
power
down.
sharing,
They gotta tone
energy
him down.
absorption, teleportation, flight, super strength, super stamina, super senses, nigh invulnerability.
Super seduction.
Super seduction.
Yeah.
Might as well. Retroactive immortality, regenerative healing factor. Come on. See, this is why I think Sentries are stupid. And when people are like, Superman's too powerful, he's OP. It's like, bro, Superman is like
Doctor
10%
Strange.
what Marvel's over here doing with this. It's just a parody of itself. That's why I didn't
Magic.
like it. And honestly, I don't know, you know, if he has a place in the MCU, because the MCU, one of the greatest parts of it is that it's not DC level power superheroes, is that it's Iron Man. It's people who, you know, have tension and can get hurt and aren't at insane power levels. Captain America, super soldier, yet punching fucking Thanos, you know, that generates a lot of stuff, and that's going to be robbed if Bob is here all the fucking time to take care of everything. But they're going to just use the excuse, well, Void, I can't go too much because Void, this and that, and that's going to be annoying.
Exile to space is the other way they do it with, you know, some
And Exile to Space, because guess who else is on this power level? She might not be as powerful as Sentry, but she's close.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. Where the fuck is Captain Marvel? And this kind of shows you the MCU, whether they really believe in Brie Larson and whether she can carry the new Avengers. I thought she was going to be handed the torch. It's actually really awesome to see the torch being handed to Yelena. I think Pugh is a great actress, and if anybody is going to lead a new Avengers team, I think Pugh is a great choice, right? And I know some people are going to be, they were already annoyed. Women, female power, and this and that. That's going to be annoying. Actually, Pugh, Yelena is a female, but I'm like, yes, I'm okay with that. Captain Marvel, I'm less okay with because I'm not into the character, don't like the character, and I think that's a cool choice.
Rooting for an underdog that is unpowered against powered things, I think is easier for a lot of people than someone that,
Batman.
So I guess she is the leader of the Avengers because she's shown at the forefront. She's making some of the decisions. She's getting help from other people that are, providing advice. But she is the leader of this team. It's called the New Avengers. I guess maybe they could do this thing where there's going to be the other
West Coast
Avengers, West Coast Avengers, so multiple Avengers to replace the original Avengers team. Where's Captain Marvel? Is she coming back?
Where's what's her name? Was it Gia or whatever?
I knew you were looking up something. I was like, where the fuck
Secret
are you looking?
Invasion.
Exiled to space.
Fucking
Secret
Daenerys.
Yes.
Yeah, she's exiled to
She's
space.
pretty fucking powerful.
So stupid. She has all the
she's not.
powers
She's
of
an
everybody.
idiot because she uses the worst arm.
Secret invasion.
She does.
She's going to use what's his name?
Okay.
Drax's arm instead of Hulk. It was like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Whatever to her.
I have no idea what you're
I
talking
was
about.
looking for it.
I was like, what's Joe looking at? We don't even remember this bitch's name.
I had to look for it.
We don't remember this bitch's name.
You just have to remove the top 5% power level and maybe
Yeah.
because like you said,
Who are the most powerful characters in the MCU? Do y'all know?
Franklin Richards, Molecule Man.
Molecule Man is the one they haven't done
if
yet.
you consider the one above all or dumb shit like that, but but it's usually these
and
ones.
Sentry and Hulk.
Franklin Richards can just be like, you don't exist.
Oh, Franklin Richards, yeah. I hate that shit.
So it's I don't like when we get to a power level where it's
too much.
It's why it's I think I give Superman a lot of shit. I don't like the Flash more because that power is so. It's
Speed Force.
Yeah, I'm so fast. I'm going back in time. It's you just broke. Stop it. No, I don't care.
Yeah, the Franklin Richards thing.
Time
and
is
they're
very
going
messy.
to introduce Franklin Richards in the next movie 2 weeks after Superman.
But he can
Howard the Duck.
he
The
can just be a baby.
baby.
No powers.
No powers.
He doesn't get his powers till later.
Baby powers.
Let's see.
All right, I think that's it, guys. Anything else? We covered all that.
Nope.
Yeah, the metal arm for Bucky's all right. He just puts it back on. It seems fine. So what's the next MCU film? Is it Doomsday?
It's Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
Oh, Fantastic Four. Right, sorry.
They just started filming Doomsday.
Yeah, so and then after Fantastic Four, it's Doomsday. And honestly, after this, if this shit is at this level, I'm excited. I'm excited again about the MCU.
I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. That's actually looking pretty good.
And then X-Men.
And then X-Men.
And then don't we get Ironheart and all those?
That's a TV show no one gives a fuck about.
Well, yeah, but
you're
we're
right,
gonna have
Joe.
to
That
watch
is
it.
next. Ironheart.
But it's a TV show. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
It's not a
It does
cinematic
count.
universe because it's not in
count.
cinema.
Secret
It's
Invasion.
Marvel
Gia
television.
So
counts.
there's going to be multiple teams that fight Doom. You have the New Avengers. You're going to have the Marvels, the girls. You're going to have... Who else is out there? Sam and his soldier
Blade.
friend. That is project is
There's
done.
only one Blade.
There's only one Blade, and apparently he ain't lying. And then what else? Oh, Daredevil. So I forgot to ask, where the fuck is Fisk? Fisk was involved in this. He's the mayor of New York, and then also Spider-Man and Daredevil. What do you think Spider-Man and Daredevil would have done if they touched somewhere in this universe they touched the void, and then so Spider-Man was probably going through Ben, and Daredevil was going through
Someone
his
rearranged his
father
furniture.
died. Yeah, so
No
I
one
wonder
ever
if they'll
stays there
ever
unless you're
mention
Uncle
that.
Ben.
Because they're New York-based superheroes, and they don't contribute anything. They're not mentioned at all.
Yeah, but maybe the Void didn't get to Queens yet, or yeah, it was
just
takes a
up
long
Manhattan.
time. They're in Manhattan. Yeah,
Okay,
it takes
so
a little bit to get to
Spider-Man
Queens.
was running there, and everything's taken care of, and he goes home.
And also, he's stuck in Sony hell, and
He's
so
stuck
none of
in
that shit
Sony
matters. Yeah.
All right, that covers everything. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.